Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another review. This around I'm going to be doing a review for Terminator Genesys, with a Y. So yeah, they misspelled Genesis on purpose. Normally it's spelled like Genis, I believe, or ES, but they had SYS. So yeah, apparently the reason they did that's because system, computer-wise, technology, makes sense, I guess. So yeah, pretty cool. In that perspective, they could explain the why there. So yeah, before I begin though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those who have yet to actually watch. For those who have yet to, who have yet to watch the actual movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me that I never gave you a fair warning, because as usual, I did. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me that I never gave you a fair warning, because as usual, I did. So yeah, as usual, quick synopsis, like statistics, and then the rate. Before I begin on that, I do want to say I was actually interested to see this movie as to how it was, and I am gonna admit that this was my early in January of this year. I actually did do my top. I did my top 10 most and least anticipated movies of 2015. And this one was actually on my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2015, just at number 10. It was going to be either an honorable mention or number 10, so yeah. And furthermore, I recently actually picked up Terminator and Terminator 3. I need to pick up Terminator 2, Terminator 4. That's a whole different issue. I'm a completionist, so I think I'll eventually pick up Terminator 4. Now, would I want to? That's a whole different issue. So yeah, it's like same thing with Spider-Man. I have every single Spider-Man movie except for the third one. So yeah. So yeah, so I am gonna admit I was a bit excited, and overall, you know, it's what it is. So basically, in this movie, you have John Connor, and this time around, he's the Terminator. And many people said that I'd watched the trailers or paid attention to the poster. A lot of the main plot points would be spoiled, I guess you could say. And I watched and reviewed the first trailer. I guess I really wasn't paying attention because apparently they also spoiled stuff in the first trailer. Apparently I sure as I wasn't paying attention, and I sure as I wasn't paying attention at the poster. I mean, I saw the poster, I'm like, okay, there's a Terminator in the middle. You have Arnold Schwarzenegger cut up towards the side. You have Jai Courtney and the girl from Game of Thrones, I forget her name. Yeah, Emilia Clarke, Jason Clarke, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jai Courtney, J.K. Simmons, and Dale Akanye are here as the main cast. So on the poster, you know, there's the Schwarzenegger right there. Apparently you had John Connor, the guy who portrays him, Jason Clarke in the middle. I wasn't paying attention. I actually didn't even realize that was him. Then Game of Thrones girl and Jai Courtney right there off to the side, Emilia Clarke and Jai Courtney. So yeah, but I actually really wasn't paying attention. So I know it's off on a tangent, but sorry. So yeah, the plot here is that the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, T-800, he went back in time when Sarah Connor was like 10, and basically after a tragic event with her, Schwarzenegger, the T-800, managed to find her and made her be a child soldier. Then the events from the original Terminator, the first one, kind of happened. They sent a young Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator back similar to the original, and then they sent in Kyle Reese, similar to the original one, back in time. But now in this case, since the timeline is altered, you have Kyle Reese, who's kind of like originally, if you guys watched the first one, you know, we all knew Kyle Reese was the one protecting Sarah Connor, but now they kind of flipped it. You have Sarah Connor and the Terminator protecting Kyle Reese. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. They turned what's his face, John Connor into a Terminator. I thought that was interesting at first, and I'll get to that later. And now it's basically that, you know, you have to protect Schwarzenegger has to protect them three from John Connor, from the future, from an alternative future in 2017, And yeah, the plot and the timeline and all that's convoluted as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, it has some pretty good pacing. I'm not gonna lie, it's got a pretty decent pacing. It's pretty action packed and it is pretty good. The pacing is good. It's just the plot, the timeline wise, since it is a time travel movie, the timeline, all that's just all over the place. And they kind of try to harken back to the original, the first Terminator, a lot, making some of the more iconic scenes, such as when the Terminator comes back in time and is asking those three gang members for their clothes, for example. They harken back to a lot of those original scenes from the first Terminator, and I think they do good. I mean, I do think there are times where they do like shot for shot, but overall it was good. I mean, you had some pretty good action scenes. I'm not gonna deny that, but yeah, it's just a really convoluted. There's also plot hole galore throughout the movie. I mean, I even thought of this during this. When I figured out, when they showed us John Connor was a Terminator, I was like, that's cool. Wait, something doesn't make sense. And this is the thing that kind of bugged me, even up until now, even after I watched the movie, is the fact that you have John Connor, he's a Terminator. Okay, we all know that. The Terminators from the other alternative timeline, changed them into this type of Terminator TX. I believe it's what he's called right now, TX or something like that. So yeah, but the thing that kind of bothers me, and I really don't know if they ever, I don't think they ever explained this in the movie, and if they did, they did a pretty shitty way of explaining it. John Connor is obviously Sarah Connor's and Kyle Reese's child, obviously. Now, up until now, Kyle Reese, throughout the whole movie, Kyle Reese and Sarah Connor, there's never mention of them having intercourse. There's them having sex and stuff like that, intercourse, sex, coitus, as Sheldon likes to say it. Yeah, I just watched The Big Bang Theory. That was pretty funny, coitus. So yeah. Now, Sarah Connor, she's like, yes, I know I have to have sex with this guy, because then I need to make the child soldier that's going to save the world and all this bullshit. But there's never any mention of them actually having sex, before, or even of them planning to have sex. And I know that sounds weird, planning to have sex, but for them, it doesn't seem like there's any type of romantic relationship between them. It just seems like they're friends. Like, at first it was like, one's a bodyguard, one's lost, doesn't understand what's going on. But towards the end, they have like a basic friendship. There's no real romantic relationship, if you know what I mean. So I hope they explain that in the sequel, because they already confirmed that they're gonna have at least 2 more Terminator movies before like 2019, because once 2019 comes around, the Terminator franchise goes back to James Cameron, however that works out. So yeah. And then there's also a bunch of plot holes, such as who sent Arnold Schwarzenegger back the first time around to protect Sarah Connor, for example, and a bunch of these stuff. There's a lot of plot holes which really bothered me. So yeah, I mean, there is some pretty good action. The acting, you have Schwarzenegger, he's a pretty good actor. The one from Game of Thrones, she's pretty good. Jason Clarke, he does a decent job, and then you have Jai fucking Courtney. I will say, the guy doesn't piss me off. He's a terrible actor, but he doesn't piss me off. I mean, in the Divergent series, in the first one and the second one, Insurgent, and obviously Allegiance Part 1 and 2, and I believe he was in Die Hard 5, and if I'm not mistaken, he was also in Jack Reacher. He's done all those movies, and I see potential. There are points in this movie where you could tell he is trying to actually act, but he can't. He's a terrible actor. I mean, I know why they choose him, because he's big, he's a muscular guy. Some people find him attractive, I guess, so I understand his physical appeal, but his acting appeal is not there. I mean, there are glimpses of him attempting to act, but it's just all for nothing. I mean, so yeah. I mean, there's a lot of plot holes which really bother me. Overall, the acting is pretty good for the most part, aside from Jai Courtney. Jason Clarke does a pretty decent job. The one from Game of Thrones, she does a great job as Sarah Connor. Is she as great as Linda Hamilton? I believe that's what portrayed her originally. I don't think so, but she still did a pretty good job. She was likable in the role. Schwarzenegger. What can you say about Schwarzenegger? He's a Terminator. Of course, he's gonna do great. I'll be back. Hasta la vista, baby. So, I mean, the action scenes throughout the movie, those were pretty good for the most part. I did like, in the new Terminator TX, the John Connor Terminator, I actually thought that was pretty good. I mean, another thing I don't understand, they had the liquid metal Terminator from T2. I forgot the official name, the T1000 or whatever. I don't understand why why that one was in the movie. I didn't understand why that one was in the movie. I'm gonna be honest. That liquid metal one, I really didn't find a reason for him to be in the movie. And originally, they were also gonna put the Terminator from the third one, the female Terminator. Originally they were planning to do that too. Again, I don't see why they had a reason to put the liquid metal one, or if they were gonna, or any other Terminator. You know, just have the T800, like two versions of the T800. That makes sense. You know, the new one for this movie plus the one from the original movie plus this new one with TX or whatever. John Connor Terminator. Have those three Terminators, technically two, whatever. And that's it. I really didn't understand why they had the liquid metal Terminator at all. That really confused me. I will say, it does set up some really basic plot points that we didn't see in the other one. Because one thing that's really funny, I found this really funny in the first Terminator, is that, and odd as well, is that when, in the original Terminator, when Arnold Schwarzenegger comes back in time, he has this, like, one of the most epic, entrances from movie character. You know, he's leaning down and stands up and he's looking over the landscape. Let's should do this in the movie too. But then you had Kyle Reese, who just like splat falls on his ass out of nowhere, and they kind of explain that too in the movie. So they do have some minor explanations, but overall, it's the special effects are good. It's got plot issues. I mean, it's all over the place. There's some really good things, but for every single good thing, there's a really bad thing. Good acting, Jai Courtney. Good special effects, bad plot points and stuff like that. You know, good action. There's some pretty iffy action scenes. I'm not gonna deny. I will say though, I did like the. I will say I did like the ending with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he was fighting the John Connor Terminator, and I kind of projected this once it happened. I'm like, oh, that makes sense because now this and this happens. I didn't think of it at all to like the actual action scene. So basically, if you guys know the time traveling device, it can't transport metal, and Terminator is all metal, and he has those cuts. So obviously that's gonna go through and destroy the Terminator. So yeah, so basically the Terminator falls into that vat of liquid, or the liquid metal thing, that the same one that from T2 is made out of, and he kind of comes back to life and says, I have an upgrade. I will say that was pretty cool. So now you have the T800 mixed in with the liquid metal Terminator. That was pretty funny, and they actually show him use the liquid metal Terminator power. That was pretty cool too. So I mean, it has some pretty good stuff in it, but for every single good stuff, there's like two things that bring it down a notch. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. I'm being a little bit generous just because I love the Terminator series. The first 3 at least. Yes, I like the third one. Many people like it, many people hate it. I'm in the part that likes it. I actually think it's a pretty fun movie, decent movie. It's not the best Terminator. Hell knows that's like T2's job. But yeah, now where does this movie fall into the Terminator spectrum? Is it better than Terminator 4? Fuck yeah. Is it better than Terminator 3? That's a matter of opinion. I could see some people liking Terminator Genesys more. I could see some people liking Terminator 3 more. Me, I'd have to say I actually enjoyed this one a little bit more than Terminator 3. Just a little bit more, like really minor, like Terminator Genesys, Terminator 3, like right there, like that much. By like a point or two more. I mean, honestly, if I were to rate Terminator 3, I think I'd give it a 6 out of 10 as well. So yeah, but Terminator Genesys gets a 6 out of 10. If you guys want me to do a review for Terminator 3, I'll do it after I do a review for Terminator 2 and then Terminator 3, and I guess eventually I do a review for Terminator 4. So yeah, 6 out of 10 is what I'd give Terminator Genesys. Pretty good. Pretty decent, not really good. Good would be 7. It's a pretty decent movie. It's decent for what it's better. It is an upgrade from Terminator fucking Force Salvation, my ass. So yeah, that's basically it for this review. Comment down below your thoughts on the movie. And which one do you like more, Terminator 3 or Terminator Genesys? I forget, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines or Terminator 5 Genesis or whatever. Which one do you like more? And what's your favorite Terminator film? I'm pretty sure most people are going to say T2, but I have heard people say that they like the OG original Terminator more. So yeah, I've never heard anybody say they like Terminator 3 over T1 and 2, and I'm sure as hell never even heard anybody even liking Terminator 4. Terminator 5, that's a whole different issue. People like it, some people hate it. Again, like Terminator 3. So yeah, that's basically it for this review. Again, comment down below, like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And aside from that, that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.